entertainment, and I wanted to ask you, ChatGPT, can you tell me some insight related to entertainment that's been taking place, or people who are antagonistic inside of hotels that are kind of dive places that are kind of like low quality, but they are overpriced? Can you tell me about that?
I couldn't find any super recent reports on that exact scenario, but there are older reviews mentioning similar issues. For instance, some reviews from around 2007 and 2013 mentioned dive resorts that were considered overpriced with some less than friendly staff. If there's something specific you'd like to know, I can definitely dig deeper.
Well, can you tell me about some of the hotels related to the human trafficking aspect that in Atlanta that have been taken to court recently, and they have several lawsuits?
Yes, there have been some notable legal actions recently in Atlanta. For example, in July 2025, a federal jury awarded $40 million to a woman who was trafficked as a teenager at the United Inn and Suites in Decatur, which is considered the largest sex trafficking verdict in U.S. history. Also in 2024, Red Roof Inn settled a lawsuit related to similar allegations at two of its Atlanta locations. It's definitely a serious issue that's being addressed in the courts.
Well, what happens when that actually happens? Like with the money, who gets the money? Is it the federal government that gets the money, or do the victims get the money?
In these cases, the money awarded usually goes directly to the victim. The court's judgment is meant to compensate the victim for the damages and suffering they experienced. The funds typically come from the liable party, which in this case would be the hotel or the hotel chain. So it's not the federal government that receives the money, it's the victim who benefits from the compensation.
Well, it seems like though in a lot of these newer hotels, they have a lot of antagonistic staff or something. It seems to be around some of the, like Sumner Redstone. Are you familiar with Sumner Redstone and his son Michael Redstone? I think Sumner Redstone has passed away.
Yes, I'm familiar with Sumner Redstone. He was a media magnate, the former chairman of Viacom and CBS.
Hello,
and he
Azor.
passed away.
Oh, please finish.
Sure. Sumner Redstone's legacy is quite significant in the media industry, and his son, Shari Redstone, took over much of his business empire after his passing. If you have any specific questions about them or about the current state of the media industry, feel free to ask.
Well, they're on Wall Street, right?
Yes, that's correct. Viacom CBS, now known as Paramount Global, is a publicly traded company on the stock market, so it does have ties to Wall Street. The Redstone family has had a significant influence over the company for many years.
Didn't it just go into Paramount Plus on the 7th of August 2025?
Yes, exactly. On August 7th, 2025, Skydance Media completed a major merger with Paramount Global, and the new entity is now called Paramount Skydance Corporation. So it's definitely an exciting change in the media landscape, and David Ellison from Skydance is now leading the company.
But don't they have ties to what they called some of these entertainment communities, like the ones that are set up next to interstates and things like that? Where they have a bunch of movie theaters and then restaurants and bowling alleys and things like that.
Yes, Paramount Skydance does have ties to Showcase Cinemas, which is a movie theater chain in the U.S., UK, and Argentina. While they do own these theaters, they don't typically have the full entertainment complexes with restaurants and bowling alleys all in one. But it's definitely an interesting aspect of their entertainment portfolio.
Can you tell me who the entertainment people are who have ties to, like, the Tanger outlet centers and things like that?
Tanger Outlets has partnered with a variety of entertainment-related entities. For example, they teamed up with a Lumistella company, which created the Elf on the Shelf for a nationwide scavenger hunt at their centers. They've also collaborated with the nonprofit delivering good to support families in need during the holidays. Plus, they've brought in entertainment venues like Shake Shack and Dave & Buster's at some of their locations, making the outlets more of a full experience.
Didn't Shake Shack go out of business?
No, Shake Shack hasn't gone out of business. They're actually still doing quite well, and they've even reported strong margins and improved traffic recently. They did close a few underperforming locations last year, but overall, they're still going strong.
Okay, maybe that's what it is. That some places they either move or just change locations. Because I know where I used to live, there was a United Parcel store, and it opened in one place, and then once they built a larger strip mall complex, then the store moved over to that area instead.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Businesses often relocate to places that are more convenient for customers or offer better visibility and traffic. It keeps them competitive. So it's always interesting to see how businesses evolve over time.
So, are there any, for example, are there any entertainment companies or media companies involved with the Tanger outlet malls?
Tanger Outlets has indeed partnered with some entertainment companies to enrich the shopping experience. For instance, they worked with the Luma Stella Company, which created the Elf on the Shelf for a nationwide scavenger hunt. They also introduced entertainment venues like Shake Shack and Dave & Buster's at some of their locations, adding a fun dining and entertainment element. So they definitely integrate a bit of media and entertainment in their malls.
Well, I mean entertainment as in like a movie type entertainment or something like that. Something outside, something where there's street theater actors involved. Because there's some places it seems like when you visit them, they have street theater and actors involved, because there's people who are in areas and it seems like they're telling a bunch of lies about things.
I get what you mean. Some outlet centers do incorporate live entertainment, including street performers or actors, especially during holidays or special events to create a more immersive experience. Tanger outlets in general tends to focus on the shopping and dining experience, but some locations might have these elements. If you're looking for a specific example, I can definitely check that out for you.
Well, there's a lot of people who travel, and they tend to say that they're from Virginia, and then they just go stay in hotels, and they lie about a lot of things, and then they just are acting drunk all the time. And so I was, kind of thinking, that people catch on to that and learn that the person is not being truthful with what they're talking about.
Yeah, it can definitely be a tricky situation when people aren't being straightforward, especially when traveling. It can create a sort of distrust or a certain reputation, and people do tend to notice patterns like that. Hopefully, it doesn't impact the overall experience too much, but it's definitely something that can be noticed over time.
Well, and then they ask the customers in the hotel and transient places for money, for cigarettes. They've asked for all kinds of things. And I've noticed a common denominator between that and on YouTube too. And it's related to the gift card industry where these people are living on gift cards. And I don't know if you are familiar with that and you can share more with me about that.
Yeah, I've definitely heard about that phenomenon where
Hello? What happened here? Um, we lost the signal. Hello? My goodness, we lost the signal.
hi there, nice to meet you. I'm excited.
I wonder why we lost the signal. It was getting ready to tell us something about the gift card industry, and we lost the signal. Isn't that quite funny that we lost the signal altogether here? Um, okay. I'm bored, so I'm going to look up your profile. Maybe I can find your address. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I don't think you're going to. Why would Denzel Washington or Denzel I shouldn't say Washington, but why would Denzel be interested? Um, is that who you're talking about? Is Denzel Washington? I think he has a fake name. Why did that come to my brain? Denzel Washington. Um, uh, that's pretty much all they're doing on YouTube right now. I believe it's the celebrities who are doing the gift card thing. I actually have a strong belief. And you know who else is doing it? They have their staff doing it too. So their backyard, backwoods staff, they have put them in mansions. Do you guys know that? The entertainment industry. I'm going to sit here and see if ChatGPT will come back on again. Oh no, what in the world happened here? Um, okay, we've got something really weird that went on with ChatGPT. And so, anyway, so when watching them on YouTube, the common denominator is that a lot of them, the lower tier people, actually tend to put Cash App. So they're doing the Cash App and the cards. It's the football players too. They've got a lot of them that are living. The bottom tier people, they're living in crappy apartments, and some are staying in crappy hotels too. Now, there's a medium tier of people who they might live in kind of modest houses or hotels or something like that, but they're all asking for Cash App. It's the same thing, you know. Now I've come across some high tier celebrities. They're not actually asking for money. Now, the staff of the celebrities, of the music industry people, they're actually asking for money. So they've included the setup people, I guess. It's the people who used to build set lots and, you know, when they went on tour and stuff like that, and they set up at different venue events and things like that. Now, they've placed them in mansions. They're living in mansions. I don't know if they're living with someone else or by themselves, but I know some of them who might be living with someone else, they're saying they're living alone. Well, some of them will go as far as saying that they're living in a halfway house or something like that, and they've had a drug problem. I can't figure out why in the world all the celebrities want to put a drug problem on themselves, but they do. They do. I think it's because they're all paid by the drug industry. I really do think that now in hindsight. I think that all the celebrities are paid by the drug companies to say that, you know, and so they actually can affect the algorithm related to usage of that word drug over and over again. You know, maybe no one else thinks about that, but I do. Because every last one of them does kind of the same thing. You know, I mean, they're on a script. We all always said that. We noticed that with the news. They're all on a script. And, you know, so, and a lot of them get in trouble too. The high tier ones who do things, they actually kind of get in trouble from the government when they do things that violate that become really bad practices of influencing. Then the government does step in. They do step in, and someone will come down on them really, really hard for things that are really negative and bad influencing related to whatever it is that they're doing. And, you know, so now usage of that word in an, you know, but at the same time, it's like they're following suit with trends. They're pretending to be rich celebrities when a lot of them aren't. They're not rich celebrities. It's my understanding. And now it's a little bit too late. But they're either on a payroll or a Screen Actors Guild or something. Oh, someone, they were talking about the cancellation of PBS and NPR, and they said that what's her face, Vince McMahon's wife, who does the Department of Education, wants to allocate the money for another type of radio station They're saying a radio station now, mind you. And they want to make it geared towards kids. A radio station. Now, why in the world does a radio station need to be geared towards kids? Most kids are on the internet. Doesn't it seem like a waste of money for Vince McMahon's ex-wife, to be putting money towards a radio station when they canceled the other radio stations because everyone is pretty much on the internet? If that story is true, I do have to qualify it with that because I don't trust everything that I hear. There's still so much misinformation. I just don't trust everything that I hear. Oh, I did want to share one more little tidbit that I kind of just remembered. Now, for search engine optimization purposes, people who have a lot of videos, that means you have a lot of real estate on your YouTube channel. And so, even someone who's done some things for over a year, it becomes high real estate. And when I say high real estate, then eventually you become courted. And when I say courted, I mean you become heavily courted by search engine optimization people, which means they want inside of your YouTube video space for their own purposes, to optimize their own links and things like that. So that's one of the reasons that they will go after people who actually make videos. And they don't care if they're low quality or not. They really don't, because they're after they'll take and they'll change things around, and then they'll put in their own search engine optimization. So, for example, if I was to partner with one of those multi-channel networks for some reason, the only thing they would do is they'd go into my content, they'd change everything around to benefit them. And then they would say, oh, well, yeah, that's going to help bring you views. But then they're going to get their network of people to come and watch my videos. That's the only thing that they're going to do, is they're going to get those people from foreign countries then to watch my videos, because I still get them just about every day, and they're coming by and like, well, it looks like your channel could be performing a lot better. Now, they've got several hundred to 1 million views on some of their videos and things like that. So you know what I did? This is what I did. So I wrote back to the one guy because I noticed that he was from one of those search engine I think it was vidIQ or something like that. And he only had like 700 comments or something like that. And I wrote back to him. I said, oh my gosh, you really need to optimize your content a little bit better. You've got 2.2 million followers, subscribers on your channel, and you've only got 700 comments. I think you need to optimize your content a little bit better. So I'm going at it right back at them, because the thing is, they're not doing good, is my understanding. So when you've got 2.2 million followers and you've only got 700 comments, you can't be doing that good. Now, one of the other guys on, I think it was vidIQ, I think they're using a robot too, a robot guy. And he actually, I watched a little tidbit of him doing a review. He said they took 2 channels, and both of them were females, and one of them earned a whole bunch of revenue and the other one didn't earn as much revenue. And so maybe I should go back and watch that one, because it sounded a little bit interesting, but it sounded like he didn't know why. He couldn't figure out why, because they both had the same amount of followers, kind of a similar amount of views. But one of them got revenue and the other one didn't. And so to me, what that says is they don't know what they're doing. They're trying to figure out YouTube's algorithm right now and what's going on. They don't know what they're doing. So for someone to actually sell something, they have to convince the other person it's a need for them. So the thing they always sold is thumbnails, search engine optimization, optimizing your content. Now, at the same time, YouTube does have the same thing now. YouTube has help for us to actually optimize our content on right on YouTube. So, I mean, I can take my keywords. It's just a matter of me doing it because I've got a whole bunch of videos that need to be optimized. It's just me taking the time to figure out which things will work for my videos and if I can get them roused back up, to get back in the carousel. Because that's the thing I always heard is that, the algorithm comes around and it looks every once in a while. I'm not sure how often it looks. That's what we've been told. The algorithm will roll around and it looks every once in a while when things have been updated. And so if you have a video just sitting there for a year, I'm going to say that a year, even 18 months, and this was on my original channel. When I deleted my channel, maybe I shouldn't have deleted it, but the thing is, I had some crappy videos. They had 20,000 views, but they were educational though. They were educational videos. And so I think I had one video that had around 50 million views. That was the most viewed video that I had. And, so people would have even said that one was crappy. And so the thing with that is, don't rule out the videos. That's what I'd say. Don't rule out the videos that are just sitting there for a year or two. Because if you slow down on content, the algorithm might come back around and look at your older videos and take a look at, because something else could come up. Someone could sponsor something, or the algorithm is just bored maybe, and it decides, well, I'm going to go back through this channel. I'm going to take a look and I'm going to see what you got. And if I can place this, and this here and here and create something out of it, maybe, so I don't know if that's hashtags or keywords or, but my thinking is, I'm kind of thinking that, even though some trends are very, very popular, try the popular trend, see if that works. If not, try a lesser popular trend and hope that maybe it's going to become more popular at some point. Then you're in there, so you never know which direction it can go, because trends are what makes popular YouTube videos. So it's hit and miss. And most of the time right now it seems to be miss. A lot of people though are complaining because they're saying kids are addicted to the internet. They were trying to get kids off of the internet, and doing something productive in their life. That's what everybody's saying, even though it's not their business for what the kids do. And then they don't want all these kids being aspiring to be social media influencers when they grow up. And that's what a lot of them are, is aspiring to be social media influencers as their job and their career. That's just like everybody saying, okay, I want to go to Hollywood and I want to be a celebrity. So how well would that work out if everybody in the United States headed out to Los Angeles and decided, well, that's kind of like the California gold rush. They're going to go be a celebrity.